Oh my gosh, I have a cold today. I definitely have a cold. We are getting ready to head to our first toy convention. So let's make a shopping list and more. We're not cutting that out. Welcome back to the journey. There are a lot of things that have been a first on this show for me. Grading, getting vintage boxed items, building a custom case. But one thing that I have never done before, even before I started this run, was going to a toy convention. And yeah, sure, it didn't help that I started collecting during the pandemic and all of those were shut down. Even San Diego Comic-Con. Yes, I could go virtually, but it's not the same. So let's correct that now. And we're gonna go to one of the best toy conventions that there is. The Imperial Commissary Collectors Convention in Nashville, Tennessee. The Imperial Commissary was created by founder Michael Havens. He used to collect when he was young, but boxed them all up when he went to college. It wasn't until his wife bought him a vintage Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper disguise that he fell back in love with collecting, and boom, the Imperial Commissary was born. Starting as a Facebook group for like-minded collectors of vintage and modern Star Wars toys, the Imperial Commissary has evolved into a pop culture phenomenon that includes franchises and vendors from all galaxies. The ICCC found a home in Nashville, Tennessee, and since then, it's been the premier sci-fi fan and collecting convention that is both family-friendly and celebrity-friendly. Some of the guest stars and panelists include Anthony Daniels, who is famous for playing C-3PO, Ian McDiarmid, Emperor Palpatine himself, Ashley Eckstein, Ahsoka Tano herself. I'm okay, I just fainted. It's Ashley Eckstein. So, as this is my first toy convention ever, there are some things that I have to do to get ready. And all of you guys already know that I'm a planner. Look at my spreadsheets. So first, I have to buy tickets. Now, there's different levels and ways to go at any convention you go to. But as you guys all know, on this show, we always go big or go home. So do I get the general admission? No. The club tickets, that is a negative. Do we get VIP? All the way, baby. And with the VIP, it says that it's limited to only 350 people. That's great, smaller crowds. We get exclusive VIP meet and greets, exclusive access to vendors. We get exclusive meetings with panelists, with creators, and the Imperial Commissary staff. And I'm gonna be starstruck to meet some of the vendors and the IC staff. And we get early entry into the convention each day. And we get to skip the autograph lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Can I use them all on Ashley Eckstein's line? And do you think she's gonna trip out when she sees me 5 times? I would probably think that's weird too. We get front row seats to panels. That's great because I can't wait to meet Kim Simmons. And exclusive VIP swag, which I do not know what that is, but I'm dying to find out. I am bringing my camera person, the very, very talented Davey Padawan. And I'm also bringing Mrs. Padawan, who you haven't met yet. Before I go and I make that spreadsheet of what we need to buy, let's actually interview Mrs. Padawan about not only going to Nashville for the first time, but going to a toy convention for the first time. We are about to go to Nashville. It's your first time in Nashville. I've been there for work. What are you looking forward to as far as going to Nashville and this convention?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing some country music.
Oh yeah, because we're in Nashville, of course, yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how everything goes and meet a bunch of people.
There's a lot of modern Star Wars that's right now. It's just not vintage. There's a lot of shows. There's a lot of things out there, like the cartoons. I was trying to show the kids the cartoons, but there's even like the Book of Boba Fett. Like, what do you know about Boba?
This kind of Boba? Yeah. Watch out, world. San Diego's coming through.
Okay, so there are a ton of things that we need to buy. So let's make that list. I can easily complete this entire collection in one fell swoop by going to the ICCC and doing it all there. The only problem with that is that I would probably have to bring an entire car, like a U-Haul, and I don't want to go broke. So we are going to be very, very strategic about what and when we buy. So here is a list of items that I'm on the lookout for. So first off, Collector Archive Services is actually gonna be at this convention, and they are a grading company. And if you haven't watched my past episodes, which you should all be caught up by now, every episode leads up into another. Go back, binge watch, and I promise you, I will be right here. But if you've seen the past episodes about grading, you know that it is a very long and hard process. Well, not hard, it's just time consuming. You have to get the figures, research them, make sure they're authentic, pack them up, log them into CAS, and then send them off. Then 7 months later, they come back in the mail, nice and graded. But to have CAS there, I can just bring the items to CAS, they log them, and they bring them back to their HQ, and all they have to do is send it back to me. Easy peasy, we're gonna take full advantage of that. So I'm gonna bring 3 items from my collection over to the convention that CAS can grade. We're gonna bring a General Madine that we got from Gilster, and this is the Taiwan green hair variant. We're also gonna bring a Paplu and Lumet that we recently got on a trip to Kansas City, and that episode is coming up soon on how I found these. Now, there's other items that I wanna get graded, but I wanna get them signed first. And that's a first for me. And the one autograph that I definitely wanna get is from Ashley Eckstein. Yes, Ahsoka Tano herself. And I want her to sign my TVC from the Clone Wars number 202. And while we're on the subject of Ahsoka, if I can find a prototype of any Ahsoka figure, I'm gonna buy that and send that off for a grade. And I'm on the hunt to find her Clone Wars number 17 from 2010. And I also want to find her Forces of Destiny action figure. And there's also some Power of the Force coins that I'm on the lookout for. And the easiest one to find on that list, and probably the least expensive, but one that doesn't come up online for sale that often, is Paplu's coin. But now we get into the more expensive and really hard to find coins. The Anakin Skywalker coin, which I just looked up on the Star Wars tracker, and right now that coin is selling for averages on the high end at $400. And this coin is highly reproduced, so that's why I want to go and try to find an authentic version at the ICCC. And then the even more rare and more expensive, the Yak Face coin. And right now, the average high cost for a Yak Face coin is settling in at $1,000. $1,000 for an aluminum disc. Crazy, right? Now, there aren't a ton of mint on cards that I'm looking for, but if I was to go and purchase a mint on card, then we're looking for these 2 items. If I can find a great deal and a great quality mint on card of Chief Chirpa, I'm definitely gonna snag that one and possibly send that in for a grade depending on condition. The same thing with the Rebel Commando. And you guys all know that I'm going on the Return of the Jedi mint on card run right now because most of those are more affordable if you want to enter into mint on card. But we are on the hunt for a lot of loose, ungraded, and graded action figures. So here is a big list of those items. First up is the small head Han Solo that we want to buy either already graded or loose, and we're gonna send that in to CAS. And we're on the hunt for either a regular R5D4 or a red bar, and both of those we're gonna send in for a grade. A Death Star droid for grading, either loose or already graded. Luke Bespin, loose for our display, so I'm just looking for one that looks nice and is complete and won't break the bank. A loose Yoda for grading, and I'm okay with getting the less expensive Orange Snake variant. Han Bespin, and I'm gonna try to find an already graded version. C-3PO with removable limbs, and I'm gonna try to find an already graded version. And a Jedi Luke, either for grading or for the loose case. A Claytu in his Skiff Guard outfit, and I'm gonna try to get this one already graded, but I need one for my display case as well. And I'm looking for the AT-AT driver, either graded or loose for my display case. The same thing with the Han in his trench coat for grading and for my display case. But I'm looking for my Leia Endor only for grading. Also looking for a prune face either already graded or loose for my display. The Rancor Keeper, but I only need that one graded, and I'm gonna try to find one that's already graded. I need a T-bow, either graded or loose, but I also have an OG T-bow that's missing all of his accessories, so I'm gonna try to find the accessories and bring those home for my OG T-bow. In a man-to-man, strictly for grading, EV99 for grading, in A-Wing Pilot, both loose and for grading, a Han Carbonite, just for grading, Imperial Dignitary, just for grading, Imperial Gunner for grading, Luke Stormy for grading, a General Lando for grading, a Luke Poncho, either loose for my display case or one for grading, a Ramba for grading, a Warrock for grading, and an R2 with his pop-up saber just for grading. And now we get to Yak Face. And I know that I already listed the coin, but this one is a higher priced item. And this is one I don't want to mess around with buying online, so I would rather buy it here, either loose or graded, because with these high ticket items, like I said, I do not want to mess around with reproduction if I'm gonna invest that much money on one figure. And the main item that I am looking for on this trip, and it's my grail, is the vinyl Cape Jawa, either loose or graded. And right now, I would be really stoked to find a great quality piece that's loose to get graded myself, or if I can find at least a 70 grade on a vinyl Cape Jawa that's already graded, we will try to get those deals, hopefully from a vendor that we already trust at this convention. But it's the same thing as a Yak Face. I want to be 1000% sure that I'm gonna invest that much money for the authentic versions. But I am super stoked to go on the hunt for all of those items. It's gonna be a major treasure hunt. But apart from the action figures and the things that we have to collect, we're on the hunt to interview a lot of interesting people. Of course, there's the celebrities, but we also want to interview people that I've bought from before and people who watch the channel. So in the next video, we're gonna be traveling to Nashville. We're gonna be covering all 3 days, and I'm so glad that I'm bringing you all with me. And please visit my links below in the description. There's a link down there for my merch store where you can get your own Padawan collector gear. And yes, there's even Rami and Jaws gear. And there's also links for collecting supplies that you may need for your journey. When you buy and click using those links, it supports the channel, so thank you for that. And if you found this video interesting, please hit that like button. That does support the channel as well. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Star Wars collecting content from me. And also, hit that notification bell so you know when videos go live. I post videos every Sunday with bonus videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And as always, my friends, thank you, and I will see you next time.
If you're new to the channel, check out the welcome video, or just check out the next episode. And please subscribe if you want to follow the journey. And remember, there is no shame in being a Padawan.